Hey everyone, we're back again with another episode of Area Real Estate. I'm Emily Nevels, your Area 2 President.
I'm Jasmine Jones, your Area 2 Vice President.
And so last time we kind of discussed what our upcoming plans were and of course about our experience at the middle school and giving workshops in school. But guys, we finally reached the point where we got to have
The mega workshop.
Yeah, the mega workshop. What do we call it?
The Colt Conference.
Yes.
It has like 8 different names. It's like Colt Conference, CT Conference. I don't know what to call it. I've always called it CT Conference. I know Alyssa calls it Colt Conference.
Yes. No, I was thinking, I don't know why I asked what. I was thinking when we called the last episode, we were like, this is Workshop Mania. I don't know why I was thinking that was... Anyways,
Workshop Mania. So, we're still in Workshop Mania.
Yeah, we are. Part 2. So, on today's episode of Area Real Estate, we're going to kind of talk about our experience at Colt Conference or at our snazzy, sporty, whatever, service learning workshop.
Whatever that was, we did.
Yes, but really, just because it's kind of like a beginning overview, we really did have an amazing time. Like, we had a bigger turnout than honestly I expected.
Yes.
And like we had chapters coming from like Sabine Parish, which is like the westernmost parish in our area. And so like I was so proud.
I know DeRitter came. And they brought a group.
Dotson, Winfield, Grant. There were a few others in there, but like it was such an amazing time, like getting to be the area officers and be kind of in charge and lead that workshop, but also inspiring these students to go out and kind of be service learners, be role models in their community, because we really wanted to focus on, and I know we covered a lot of this in our last video, on the difference between community service and service learning and how as students we can always gain something back by supporting our community in agricultural ways or educational ways. So JJ, my question for you, what was kind of your like favorite part or favorite things going into that?
So me and Anna had, our part of the workshop was to talk about the foundations that you need for creating your own service learning workshop. And we had a little model and it taught them all about that. She did a great job. And my part of the workshop, my part of that little section was the game. And I really loved the game that we came up with. And it was a skit. And basically they had to like create a skit within a sports team about different components of the service learning workshop. So one was like create a experience that makes you think or sparks curiosity, and you're a group of sprinters. And I think it was one of my favorite ones because they were like sprinting, and then they had someone pretend to be a frog, and like the frog jumped out.
It was so
and the
good.
crowd was like, "Was that a frog?"
Yes,
it was hilarious, and it was so funny because we kind of mixed them up a little bit. And they just came together really well, and every one of them was funny, every one of them hit. I gave them some weird sports. I tried to go a little bit outside the box. So I know we had like a golfer, like one of ours was like a team of golfers, and I don't even know if golf is played in teams. I don't think it is.
No.
Long story short, we had a team of golfers, and they were hilarious, and they nailed it. And that was probably my favorite part because it's just things that not only did we learn about it, but it also had a component of fun that just came out of the blue, and they did so well with that. They really just took it and they ran. Another thing that I really liked is we had like an activity at the end where they had to come up with their own project, and some of them came up with really good activities, and I know we fangirl over the middle school.
Yes.
But they had such a good activity. They talked about push and pull factors.
I love
it. And it was so good. Like, they had one of the best ones there. They were the youngest people there. I was so impressed. I was like, that's my Winfield.
I was so proud. Yes.
But what was your favorite part?
Honestly, now I want to kind of give some kudos to JJ here. So, of course, the theme of our workshop was sports themed, and Miss JJ right here was a track coach. And to be like a full track coach, you know, you've got to have like the track suit, zip up, and then she had this checkered fanny pack. It was
Mr. Riley bought it for me.
Yes.
Shout out to Mr. Riley.
No, I'm serious. She was like such like track coach.
We'll have to show y'all a picture.
Yes, like there was one person who like lost their phone, and she was like, I have whipped it out in the middle of the workshop.
Out of my fanny pack, I was like, I have someone's phone. Did someone lose their phone? Hey, look, you have to post about this on Facebook. You need your phone.
Yes, it was.
And I had my little hat.
It was so good, and even like during her part when she was teaching, she would be like act like a track coach. Like she'd be like, so today guys, like we're gonna do this, and be like, don't disappoint me. Like don't screw this up. Like,
Stop
it would
talking.
Yes, it would be like, it was so funny. And then Anna was her partner on this, and it was like kind of like a father-son duo. And so like Anna like would give her part, and then they'd have like a little joke or something, and JJ would be like, I'm disappointed in you, son. Like, you need to run faster. You need to do better.
It was so funny because it was last minute. I remember I made up the outfit. Like, as we were planning this during AOT, I had the outfit in my mind. I was like, I'm going to slay that outfit. But then when we got to the cult conference, I was like, I'm going to act like a dad, a disappointed dad in my during my part in our little section. And Anna looked at me and she goes, I can be the disappointment of a son, and I was like, good idea. So well. And they loved it. It was, I'd say it was pretty funny.
Yes.
And she did a really good job.
No,
and
it was so good. And like with that, like because we have these fun things like JJ's outfit, also like the skit activity, like that's really how you get the kids engaged because a lot of the time, especially like on my part, Mackenzie and I had to explain the difference between community service and service learning, and like I understand like that can be boring because you hear it all the time what community service is, and like for our part, like we have the definition, and it's like you're in class, read and write this definition down, you'll have a vocabulary test. Like it gets boring. So like when you introduce activities like that, and like us all dressing up, and then like the entire time we had music playing, so really just like we found a way of getting those students engaged, and that's what made it really exciting. Now on the flip side of that, we also had more educational activities. So for example, for Mackenzie and I's, as well as Dina and SK's part, we would put like posters around the room, and they'd have to go decide whether or not it'd be community service or service learning, or if it's, or what kind of job can apply to the community service or service learning project. And so with that, that's where you really put, you know, if they're paying attention, you put it to the test, because that way they can apply it and really understand, you know, why do I need to be a service learner? Why do I need to be an active role model in my community? And so both the mix of like the fun and the educational really makes what a workshop is, because we're all teenagers. Like we don't like, yes, yay, we're getting out of school to come to this conference, but like we don't want to just sit there and be bored out of our minds staring at walls, like, you know. And so, and that's also fun with us as teenagers. Like I feel like cool girl, like all these kids, half these kids are probably older than me, and that's okay, but it's like I'm up here like, you need to know this, and
teaching them.
Let me give you a few callbacks. When I say home, you say run, like things like that.
Oh, run.
I will say, kudos to, if you're watching this and you came to Cult Conference, kudos to y'all for being like on your A game with the callbacks.
The best
touchdown.
The best group I've ever seen, especially like with the callbacks and the affirmations. It was so good. And talking a little bit about like how we're all teenagers. Yeah. I learned so much from that conference because we each had a little part, and we just kind of focused on that. And so while they were talking, we were sitting in different groups, and I was with the DeRitter group. They slayed.
They did.
And we were going through, and they kept on like kind of looking at me whenever they didn't know, and I was like, hey guys, I don't know either. Like I'm new to this. There was quite a few where I was like, they were like, what did you put on that one? And I was like, I don't know. We'll have to see what they say. I don't know. And it was so fun to learn along with them.
Agreed.
And I think that one thing we did really well, like the flow is really good, but we showed them how fun learning can be, and we showed them how fun FFA is. And I think that's really important, because not only are we drawing new members in, we're also drawing members into higher positions of leadership, such as in area officer. Now, we had some lower numbers this year, but doing things like this is what brings it up. It was fun, it was educational, and we got to show how well we worked as a team and how beneficial it was, not only to us, but to everyone around us, how it benefited the people that we were educating. And so I think we really did an awesome job with that. So pat on the back for us, but also pat on the back for the people who came to the workshop, because y'all did so good. Y'all, like we said, we've done Workshop Mania these past couple of weeks, and y'all have been our best group so far. No, it was so fun.
Like, I'm being so honest, I could not have asked for a better turnout.
Literally.
Better, just, I guess, flow of the workshop. Because I'm telling you, I was stressed, because we were having to have, like, Zoom calls, because all of us, JJ and I, of course, lived in Wynn Parish, but everyone else is spread out, so we can only meet online. And so it kind of hinders us in a way, like, we can't really get all this together all at once. And so this was kind of a lengthy process, but I really do feel like it turned out for the best.
It was worth it.
And, like, I'm so serious. That was the best thing I could have asked for. And I'm so glad, like, we had the opportunity to learn while also, like, pushing out those things for everyone to learn. So, can you think of anything else?
I just want to say again how good the group was,
Yes.
and I want to compliment
see
y'all.
us.
Literally
We love
compliment
y'all.
y'all on how willing y'all were, because we put y'all in different groups.
Yes.
We kind of mixed y'all up. We put y'all out of y'all's
Agreed.
comfort zone, and y'all were so willing to participate, and you were so willing to talk to the people who are in a different group or came from a different school.
Yeah.
A lot of workshops that we go to, they have these little groups, and they're really
Yes.
knit, and you want to stay with the people that you know, but it's so important for you to reach out, and y'all did such a good job on
Yes,
that. So I just
agreed.
wanted to, again, tell y'all how good of a job y'all did, and it was
Yes.
it was so fun. Y'all
Mhm.
really made the experience so good for us,
Yes.
because that was our first big scale workshop,
Yes.
and it really boosted our confidence, and you guys did so well, and everyone got so much out of that.
Mhm.
I just want to reiterate how proud
Yes.
I am of how y'all did and how we
Yes.
did.
And that just made me think of one more thing. One thing, like, I absolutely loved getting to see from y'all, and you kind of brought this up with the middle schoolers, is how you all saw the problems in your community,
Yes.
and we're all thinking of innovative ways to
Yes.
tackle them. So, like, we were hearing about road problems in one area, and the
Mhm.
other one was fluorine. For instance, they just struggled recently with all the forest fires that have been happening, and so they were coming up with new ways of maybe planting new species or working with the fire department to, have more resources and stuff.
Mhm.
And so getting to see that, like, I could see that these students cared, and
Yes.
they were willing to put not only what they're learning in the ag classroom,
Yes.
but what they know at home, what they're
Yes.
learning, in the world around them. And so, like, I was so proud of that because
Yes.
everyone got it. Everyone
Yes.
understood the point of why we're having the workshop and why we want to teach service learning, because it relates to them. And so, like, I was a little proud little mama
Yes,
in that
when,
moment.
When we did the workshops in AOT, a lot of times when
Yeah.
we did the last project, it'd be something like, oh, everyone's going to pick up trash in their community.
Yes.
But they really took what we taught
Agreed.
to heart, and they applied it, and they came up with new and unique things for each and every parish, and that was so impressive to me.
Absolutely. So, I mean, really, in the story, we are so thankful that
Yes.
everyone came out and came to see us.
Thank y'all.
And we're willing to participate in our workshop
Yes.
because, like you
Yes.
said, a lot of kids show up because their advisor makes
Yes.
them, or because they want to get out of the school
These
that
kids
day.
really want to be there,
Yes.
and you could tell.
You could tell.
You could tell.
Absolutely. And one final reminder, if any Area 2 kids or anybody who attended it is watching this, remember, we still have our competition going on.
Y'all be
So
competitive.
enter, because you can win.
Blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah, you can win that $100 Tractor Supply gift card. Anyway, that is all we have for this episode today. So this is Emily,
This is Jasmine.
and we're signing out.
Bye.